Hi everyone, this is Alan from Gothru, the best virtual tour platform for publishing to Google Street View and for creating virtual tours for real estate and businesses. In this video, we're going to talk about Autopano Giga, the software that was initially built by Color and was bought by GoPro back in 2015. And then GoPro decided, okay, we're not going to invest more into this market, and they released this software as a free software, and now we can use it to stitch 360 images for free. So let's go ahead and see how we can do that. First, we're gonna go to Gothru website and to the Gothru blog post, and here we have the how to stitch 360 images blog, and if this is not the last blog post, you can go and search for it. So let's go ahead, click on this, and we're gonna download. We are on a Windows machine here, so we're gonna download the Windows version, and let's open it. Okay, so here accept. Okay, click next. Okay, click next, install. Yes. So now, since we are using Windows, I found that the Autopano Giga was not running on my system, so I had to go and download this file lib eay32 and then place it into, no, I don't want to reboot now, finish, and let's see if it starts for me. Yeah, I don't think it starts, so let me go and download this file. Okay, so the file is this one, and probably this is the latest version, so I'm gonna download that. Okay, and we're gonna copy this and go into program files. I'm gonna look for Color, Autopano Giga, and we're gonna paste it in here. Okay, and now let's start Autopano Giga. Started on the other screen. Okay, how do I move this? Okay, so it asks to register, so let's register. And we're gonna copy the email from here, and that's the license key. And click register. Okay, succeeded. So now we have Autopano Giga installed, and the first thing that I would recommend to do is to go to edit settings, panorama, and default crop changes to maximum projection range. This is very important because if you're not doing that, if you have like a nadar that is black, Autopano Giga will cut your image, so it's not gonna be a perfect 360 image. But once we do that, that's done. So now we're gonna take, let's say, in this case I have 4 images that are already been stitched, infused, sorry, and we're gonna drag and drop them in here, and then we're gonna click detect. Now this application is very good for if you have a small number of 360 images to stitch, but if you have like a lot and you like to work in batch mode, then I would say you go to PTGui Pro, because that application really amazing. I'm using all the time, and I can batch stitch everything. It's one push and then I just leave my computer and everything is done. But this is good if you just have a few images that you want to stitch, and yeah, it's free, so I cannot go wrong with that. So let's go ahead and save. So we're gonna export, save all as, and we're gonna create on my desktop a new folder, 360. Okay, so the save is saving in the pano format, so that's not what we're gonna do. Okay, so that's good. So we're gonna click on the settings, and then we're gonna click render. And for the destination, we're gonna choose the 360 folder, select, and click render. So now the image is rendered. So if you notice this black part of the 360 image, if we would have not done the edit settings maximum, then that would be cropped and the image would not be a perfect 360 image. Okay, so now it's done, and let's go ahead and check the image. This is the folder, so it's gonna open and paste here. So this is the 360 image, and now we have the 360 image nice and properly stitched. Yeah? And can go full screen. Yeah, so I'm using here an application developed by Gothru. It's called Gothru Photo Studio. It's not yet live, but yeah, it's an amazing app. We are still working on it, adding a few more features, and then hopefully soon it's gonna be live. So that is how you stitch one image. Now if we delete this and we want to add more images, let's see how we can do it with more images. I'm just gonna use this and like that. So what I thought initially, I can just drag and drop like this, but you see it's grouping them like that, which is not very good. So what I found is like I really need to select group of 4 and create group of 4s like this, and then we go and say detect, and it's gonna do detect all. So this is how, if your image is already infused, so you have already infused images, that's how you do it. And we're gonna test and see if your images are not yet infused, and we're gonna do a test with that also. Okay, so in my case, I'm using a separate application for infusing images, and actually we are working on a version built by Gothru. So right now I'm using Enfuse GUI, but we're gonna build in Gothru an application called Gothru Enfuse UI. So those are the images. Make sure, we're gonna select simple, because we don't have people walking around, and we're gonna select all the same folder 360 and click render. So we have to do that for each of them. Okay, so it was much faster now. Okay, I think one more, and then we can take a look at the images. Okay, so the last one I didn't specify the folder, so I didn't change the folder. So we have in this folder only 2 images, so that's one, and that's the second. So probably I just need to move the other one. 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna reload, and yes, we have the other 2 images in here. Let's test now how we can stitch without having the images already infused. Okay, so in this case, this is my folder. That's the folder when I don't have the images infused, and you can see the images. I have different brackets. That will be the 0, -2, and then +2. And then we have 12 images, because we have 4 images per 90 degree, and 4 by 3, that's 12. So we're gonna take 3, 3, 3, and 3, so that 12, and you're gonna drag and drop them in here. And you see Autopano Giga already detected that those are in groups. Detected in the brackets, and already grouped them by 3. And if you have more than 3 brackets, then I think there is a setting where you can specify to Gigapano like what's the number of images in your brackets. and I think it's somewhere settings here, default group by stack. So here is how you group them, yeah. And detection, I'm not super familiar with the application because usually I'm using PTGui. Gonna exposure fusion. So if you have not done that, and render. So this application works on iOS also. So if you have a Mac computer, it works. It works on the Linux also. If you have Ubuntu with a user interface. Yeah, I'm not sure why it does anti-ghosting. Okay, I suppose infusing, yeah, it should do anti-ghosting. Yeah, so too bad the application doesn't work very well with batch stitching. Like I would just love to drop all my files. I always know that I have 4 images per panel. I'm doing my own bracketing, so just take all 4 images, but it doesn't. Like I tried all kind of things and it didn't work. It just tries to group the images by bracketing, and in my case, I don't like to do brackets through the stitching application. I prefer to use my own Enfuse application. There are many of them, but I prefer the Enfuse GUI because the light and the colors, they feel more natural. If you're stitching using Panomatics, I think there are a few extra. I'm not using them. I haven't used them in a while. I used to use them when I was shooting real estate. Back then I was shooting like still images, so not 360 images, and I used to use that back then. Photomatics, yeah, Photomatics, that's the application that I used to use. Wow, that's a lot. By then Enfuse would have done the blending, and we could have done the stitching in here. So that's what I like when I'm doing separate. Okay, so it's done. Now let's check the image. It's group 6, and this is the image where the fuse was done with Giga Auto, and I'm not sure if I like it because this is darker. Let's check out. This is where I did the infuse. As you see, it's more light. This is darker. So I prefer, again, my way or stitching the images. So my way of stitching images is using Enfuse GUI, and look, there is a big difference, as you see. Okay, so this is how you use Autopano Giga to stitch 360 images for free. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That help us a lot, and yeah, definitely helps you because it makes us creating videos like this and give you power and knowledge in this industry, 360 images. Goodbye and see you around. Bye bye.